Happy Tuesday, guys. Welcome to tonight's cooking class. This is George Montes. Welcome to Rojo's Kitchen, Homemade Chefs. And today, happy Bastille Day, Bon Fête Nationale to all my French people. Bonjour. Uh, much love. Pardon my French. I won't curse. So today's the National Independence Day of France. So in honor of that, we're gonna do a classic French dish. Uh, some might be eerie, to some it's delicious, and to me it's delicious. We're gonna do escargot. My cargo 160 swiftly. So escargot is French for snails. Yep, we are eating snails. Call your kids, hide your wife, get everybody together, and I'll tell you a little bit more about this stuff. We're going to be having some wine that's sponsored from Fine Spirits from my friend Harmeed in Cooper City. I'll tell you a little bit more about that. Um, giving a little time for everybody to come. I'm excited for this dish. I love escargot. This is very, very easy dish. Of course, we can have a French baguette because can't have Bastille Day without a baguette. Uh, Bastille Day baguette to baguette. So we're gonna make a nice crostini with this in a little bit, and then we're gonna toast that up. We're gonna saute these wonderful escargots with some garlic, with some shallots, and we're gonna saute that with some oil, some butter, a little bit of white wine. Actually, the same wine that we're gonna do the pairing with. We're gonna cook with that. A little bit of cream, some butter, burr. French love their butters, and a lot of what they call fine herbs, so lots of herbs. All right. Any questions? Feel free to ask them as we go. I also have some awesome announcements. And if you enjoy our classes, if you have been enjoying them, and we've been doing them for the last 5 years throughout this whole quarantine, 5 years, it feels like 5 years, the last 5 months, or 4 months, or whatever it has been. If you're enjoying what we're doing, we are posting some links in the comments if you guys want to donate for the class. We know it's a free class, but we're adding a donation click. So we're putting some links to our Venmo or Cash App, Zeal. Uh, we appreciate it. You know, it's rough times here at Rojo, but we're keeping it live, keeping our spirits high, and full of gratitude because of our clients, our friends, and people like you. So thank you always for your support and your love. Much love to you, my shitty. All right, so we're gonna get started. I'm gonna begin with a baguette. We're gonna make some crostinis. So you can start with any kind of bread, country style bread. The baguette works for me. I like the baguette. It's my favorite thing. One of my favorite breads to cook with. So I encourage you to have a bread knife, serrated. This is long. It doesn't have to be this long, but it works. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna cut this not straight down. I'm gonna cut a long bias cut. So you're gonna get this long, almost like a long little, large, long shard. So I'm gonna put this at an angle here, and the first corner I'm gonna not use because that's the tip. We don't want the tip. We want the whole thing. All right. So I'm gonna make a couple of these guys. Make sure to cut yourself whenever you're using knives. You know, a lot of people say, "What kind of knife should I use?" You don't need that many knives. You just need a good chef knife, something that's an 8-inch or 10-inch chef knife, something like this, all-purpose stuff. A good serrated knife, a good bread knife will get you very far. A paring knife, and maybe a boning knife. I mean, with those 4 knives, you can go really far. So a good serrated knife is awesome. But be careful with the serrated knife because one of the worst cuts you can have is with a serrated knife because they have, you know, it's not a smooth cut. It's a serrated cut, so it's not gonna be great. All right, so make a couple more. I'll show you how long and thin I cut these. Uh, and if anybody's watching and if anybody's watching from across the world, I know we have a lot of fans in Dubai. We have South America. I'm from Peru, and we have my piece from Peru. We have Canadians, Canada in the house. So we're making crostinis. We're making escargot with herbs in a wine lemon butter sauce. So I started cutting this little baguette here into this long crostini, and you'll see why. Because you can feel a lot of escargots on top. All right, so I have a couple of these guys. Let me cut one more, and we're gonna get that in the oven. I have the oven at 350, heating up, ready to go. All right, so what you're gonna want to have ready is a baking tray with a little parchment paper, and we're gonna line up our crostini on there. This is not in the recipes because bonus. Just want to make sure you're paying attention. But this recipe will be posted. Also, we're gonna be posting some wine notes on today's wine recommendation. If Harm, if you're watching, you're welcome to chime in.
He's here.
Yep.
Question, Chef.
We got a question.
Just did you make the bread?
No, I did not make the bread today. It's Tuesday. I had a nice long weekend. I did not make the bread. Exactly. All right, so I'm gonna put a little olive oil on top of this baguette. You could brush it with butter. A little olive oil is fine. There's a lot of butter in the sauce. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna rub a little bit of rosemary on it to give it impart some of that rosemary flavor onto the bread. And I'm gonna chop a little bit chives to go right on top of that, just to give a little bit of color. I like to get the little crispy onion flavor onto the bread, and it makes a difference. We're gonna put a little salt and pepper as well, so that's very important. Chives is an herb that's used very often in French cuisine. When I started cooking back in 1999, uh, I started cooking a lot of French food, so I have a lot of love for French cuisine. It's probably one of my first and favorite cuisines because when I went to culinary school, they instill a lot of French cuisine in all the classes. You know, the French pretty much wrote the book on cooking, and so you go to proper culinary school. They teach you a lot of French cuisine and mostly the techniques. So you learn about the history, and I really fell in love with that. So I've been celebrating Bastille Day my own way and catering different Bastille events. We've done many Bastille dinners in the past, and those are always fun because there's always a lot of good wine and a lot of good food. The French love their food just as much as a lot of people do. My favorite people are the people that love to eat and drink. So the French are up there. All right, so a little salt and pepper. Look at that. Beautiful. Nice. With our little chives, little rosemary essence in there. Pop that in the oven, 350 for 10 minutes. All right. I think since it's Bastille Day, let's start with the wine. And behind the scenes, we have Joe in the house and our homie, head of IT, Jaxie, is also with us. And I always like to give a shout out to them because they work really hard. And since they're behind the scenes, they don't get the love and praise. I feel like I get all the love, but they deserve it just as much because without them, there ain't no me. All right. So this is today's wine recommendation. I'm gonna bring it a little closer. I don't know if Joe, you can see that they're good. This is Albert Bichot, Macomb Village, and again, part of my French. Don't give me a heartache. We're gonna put all the notes on it and all the details in the comments, so you can look in that. This is a Burgundy wine, and Harmy gave some really good notes, and I was actually cramming some of the info. But I just learned that all white Burgundy is Chardonnay in France. So this is normally Burgundy is not aged in oak as in California, where most of the Chardonnay is in oak, most or steel bats. So this is only 20% aged in oak. We're gonna try that now. What's the point of talking about wine without drinking it? So, and speaking about tastings, I love flavors, and that's why we are probably the first curators of virtual wine tastings, food and wine tastings in South Florida. So I encourage you to sign up. We have a couple events posted in advance. I'm gonna keep this wine nearby because we're gonna cook with it. This Thursday, here guys. This Thursday we have a single malt dinner. Who's Glenn Ronich. So we're gonna do 4 single malts, 5 single malts, and we're gonna do four courses pair with that. We're gonna do first course. What was the first course? I can't remember all the stuff now. First course, we're gonna do the. God, now I'm stuck. Anywho, I'll tell you a little bit about that. But let's cheers, guys. Happy Bastille Day. Oui, my yeah, my comrades. Or I don't know what they say, comrades. Mon ami. There you go. Yeah. Je te manque fully, my chérie. I love the French language, the language of love. My little petit lapin, my chouchou, my petit frambois. Je te manque, je te aime fully. All right?
First course is summer tomato gazpacho with rump crab salad.
All right. This is delicious. So this is nice. It was cold. We had it chilled. I'm gonna let it breathe out a little bit, and I'll give you more of the tasting notes. I don't want to give you all the notes because sometimes when the wine is too cold, it kind of numbs the flavors and the aromas. So I'm gonna let this breathe. So when you're at home, you can pour this in your glass and just set it to the side. Come back to it in 10 minutes as the temperature rises. And also, if you want to warm it up, you can kind of cuddle that up and give it your love. And your body temperature will warm up the wine. Do this little warm thing. So stuff like this we'll cover in the tastings. Uh, if you haven't been part of the tastings, you get this beautiful kit. Inside, you get your five single malts, you get the four courses. We're going to give you a Zoom password the day of the event. We're all eating together. You get to have dinner from the comfort of your home. Pants or no pants, that's up to you. Just don't show it on Zoom. No babysitter, so you can have your kids running around. And they're pretty cool. We have a lot of it's educative because we're gonna have a sommelier. Harmeez will be curating that. We're gonna have the speaker all the way from Scotland talking about that, and myself talking about the food and the parents. So it's really really cool. We only have 5 spots left. That's this Thursday. We also have a sushi class on Friday night at 7 o'clock. So sign up to that. Hands-on sushi again from the comfort of your home. We give you the kit. We can deliver it, or you can come pick it up here. All right. So let's get back to cooking. I'm gonna let this breathe a little bit. And first things first, we have garlic. I already chopped that. 6 cloves of garlic, chopped. What I'm gonna dice now, I'm gonna do some shallots, little shallots. So shallots are used all the time in French cuisine, and they're just like a little red onion, a little milder in the flavor. Used a lot in sauces, beurre blancs, all kinds of sauces, sauteed with mushrooms. So we're gonna dice this up small, and this is your aromatics. This is what's gonna add all that onion flavor and delicious uh, sweetness and kind of soul to the dish. The onions and garlic are really the soul to the dish. So we're gonna chop these up nice and small. I'm gonna do the whole thing in there. I love shallots, especially like this sauteed, because you get this nice little tender little sweet onion bites. Very, very delicious. Very, very elegant stuff. And if you're wondering, oh my God, this guy is gonna cook snails, like snails from your backyard. Well, these escargot are snails that are domesticated and they're farmed. Well, not really domesticated, but they're farmed. It's not like you taught them how to do certain things. So when they're farmed, they're eating organic and they're eating stuff that you're feeding it. So they're not eating anything poisonous, and it's not gonna harm you. And they're already pre-cooked, so they get them out of the shell, they blanch them in boiling water, and then you get these kind of characters that look like this funky medicine things. All right, so we're gonna start with a little bit of olive oil in the pan. We want to get high heat. We want to saute. Um, and if you never heard that term saute, I'm sure you heard it in the cooking shows, but it's French and it means to jump. So for anything to jump, you need to get the pan really hot, the floor hot. Like, oh my God, it's hot. So it's making you kind of jump. So same thing. We want this to be piping hot. I want to see some smoke. I want to see the French flag. I want to see, the revolution in here. Whole Miserabs. So I'm gonna let this get a little bit hot. I have my shallot standing by, and I have my escargot right here. And I'll show you. These are nice and plump. You get these in the can. They're nice. You can also get them fresh, but they're a little slimier and funkier. So you're better off just getting the canned ones. Now, if you don't like escargots and this is freaking you out, and I'll stop talking about them in a little bit, you can a good substitute is mushrooms. You can do some cremini mushrooms, cut them into quarters, and you can do this almost vegetarian version. All right, the pan is hot and the block is hot, right? And hot is chaud in French. So this is gonna become a French class too. Très chaud. Put a little shallot in there. Let's put our onion in there, and let's put our escargot swiftly. All right. We're also gonna hit this guy with a little salt and a little pepper. I love black pepper with escargot. Think of escargot almost like seafood.
Chef, we got some IG behind the scenes here. If you want to say hello to your fans.
Hey, what's up, guys? So Facebook, hold on for a second. I'm gonna cheat on you. Got Instagram on the left side. I'm gonna look at you guys. Hi, we're doing this live. If you're joining us on Facebook and you're watching us now on Instagram, we are doing Happy Bastille Day. I forgot already how to say it in French. Maybe Joe can help me. Bon Fête Nationale, my ami. So happy Independence Day to France. And today we're making escargot sauteed with shallots, garlic. We're gonna chop some herbs. We're gonna put some lemon juice. We're gonna do some delicious white wine. We're doing a Chardonnay, Burgundy wine. Sorry, from France, Macon Village, 2018. And fun fact, if if you want to get a good deal on that right now, to all my Rojo friends on Instagram and Facebook, for $14.99 you can get it at Fine Spirits in Cooper City, all the way to Sunday. So it's a really good price.
Mention this video.
Yeah, just mention Rojo Kitchen, mention Happy Bastille Day, and all that stuff. If you forgot, we have some crostinis in the oven right now cooking. I'm gonna check on them in about 5 minutes, and I think we're going really good. All right, I'm gonna taste some of the wine in a second. So now I have rosemary. I'm taking out of the stems. I have some thyme, and the time is right. So we're gonna put some of these herbs. We're gonna chop these up. We're gonna add that in there. So I'm gonna add in here the rosemary and the thyme. So these are the woodier herbs. All right, so that's looking nice. So now I'm gonna put a little bit of white wine right here. We're gonna use the same wine. So whenever cooking and you want to do pairings, there's a couple of different ways you want to go. You can counter if it's something salty, then you want to go with something acidic maybe to cut that or whatnot. In this case, uh, this dish is gonna pair really nice. This is a very buttery and rich dish, loaded with herbs and herbal notes. So the creaminess of the burgundy is gonna go really nice. And also, since it's in the dish itself, you're gonna get some accents of the wine.
Chef, we've got Mexico City and Cuba in the house.
We got people from Mexico and Cuba. Bienvenidos, un placer. All right, so this dish is really quick. I committed to cooking, so now I'm chopping up quick. We're gonna add the rosemary and the thyme. Boom. And mind you, this is snails, right? Think of snails. Where do they live? In the forest. They're on the ground. They're walking around. So herbs, perfect pairing with that. All right? Snail mail over here. Put just a little bit more wine in there. All right, so we got that going on, and we're also gonna put a little bit of butter now. Now, when you're sauteing on high heat, we started with olive oil, and a little bit of butter is good at the beginning because you can saute all that with the butter. The butter won't burn because there's a bit of oil in there. All right, give this a couple mix up. This is looking nice. This is smelling really nice. The escargot is getting plump. They don't take too long to cook. Put a little more salt right there. All right. So next we're gonna get some cream, heavy cream next. We're gonna put a little bit of lemon juice right now, and I'm gonna start chopping some more chives and some parsley. Now the chives and the parsley is what you call the fiend herbs. You know, you ever see an omelet, the fiend herb omelet? That's the little fine little herbs. They're more delicate. They're fresh. So those you put at the end. So I'm gonna put these together and we're gonna chop these up. Before that goes, I'm gonna put my cream, heavy cream. It's heavy. All right, and some fresh lemon juice. I'm not gonna use my squeezer. I'm just gonna put it right there. I'm gonna keep it a la French. Boom. Look at that. The cream is gonna give it this delicious, luxurious coat to the sauce, and it's gonna become almost like what they call a beurre blanc, a butter sauce. Beurre is butter. All right, and butter always makes it better. So I'm gonna keep some of these little chopped things. I'm gonna chop up some chives over here, and my parsley, and we're gonna add that soon. This is almost ready. So all we're missing here is these chives that I'm gonna chop up, and the parsley that I'm gonna chop up, and a little bit more butter. Uh, in a technique that they call monte au beurre. Now I'm giving you all the French stuff because I'm going French. Monte au beurre, we're mounting on butter. That's gonna be finish up the sauce. It's gonna the cold butter is gonna melt in the hot sauce. You're gonna you're gonna mix that in really nice. All right, so chives, parsley, and don't go crazy. It doesn't have to be really fine. This is really a rustic dish, nice appetizer. Or if you really want to really impress somebody, you have a hot date or one of those things, you can sear a nice filet mignon or a nice strip steak, and then you put this right on top, and then you have something sexy. All right, so a little bit of parsley, a little bit of chives. You know what? It's a little dry. Let's put a little bit more wine in there. It's our harm. We're not just cooking all of it. We're gonna we're gonna drink some more of it. Promise. All right, and I turned it on. So one good chef chef trick right here. It's not even in the recipe. I knew the sauce was drying up. It was cooking. I've been talking so much to you guys. So all I had to do, you are the chef of your kitchen. You're the master of your domain, and a good chef knows how to manipulate the heat. So if something's getting burned, overcooking, or drying up, turn it off, pull it out of the heat. A lot of times, and I've been cooking for 20 years now, and I'm teaching for 19 or so. One of the main things I see a lot of times people get scared in the kitchen, and remember that you're in control of things. Take a deep breath, take a sip of your wine, and remember, have a good time. It's not stressful. It should be stressful for me. I'm cooking for a bunch of people, but you're just cooking for you and your family. And if they don't like it, sacre bleu, you know. All right, so now the wine has opened up. I gave it a couple minutes. I was telling you about warming it up. It was too cold when I first opened it. Now, beautiful, citrusy. We get some peach. We get some floral notes in there, and you get this little hint of citrus at the end. And I love Burgundy wines. Some Chardonnays tend to be American Chardonnays tend to be really oaky and too buttery. Let's check on the bread. Beautiful. All right. So we got our crostinis ready to go, nice and crunchy. These should be really hot, but I'm gonna grab it, and I'm gonna put three of these guys right here. Three nice one right here. Boom.
Question, Chef.
Yeah.
Can you recap where did you source the snails from?
Okay. So these are canned. You can get them at a gourmet store. Um, I got these. I think I got these at Publix or Whole Foods. I don't remember. Somebody got it for me. Uh, but you can go to like the canned meats section, like the canned tuna or the canned squid and that section. They should have it there at Publix or Whole Foods or one of your gourmet stores. They should have that. All right. So we have our baguettes. Any other questions? Any other comments?
No, just a ton of butter and garlic. What else do you need?
That's
And
it.
wine.
I mean, this is the epitome of French food. Lots of herbs, lots of butter, lots of cream, wine, and it's really that simple. Haute cuisine or fine dining cuisine was a rave, and that's a part of French cuisine. But not all French food is all this stuffy, pinky up kind of. That's kind of Paris, and France is such a huge country, and You have the South, Marseilles, which is beautiful, all the seafood and you know, I could talk about all the different regions of France, and that's how much I love French food because they have so much really good stuff all around. But overall, you know, they're all into good ingredients and keeping it from the terroir, from the land. All right, so we're gonna add a little bit of butter now. Remember, I was saying monte a beurre. We're mounting on some cold butter to our hot sauce. That's gonna create an emulsification, which is gonna help us get this really creamy, velvety sauce.
Another question, Chef.
We got a question. Hit me.
Do you have to rinse them from the can? Are they in some sort of brine that's too salty, or?
Yeah. So the question is, do you have to rinse them from the can? Yes, I always like to rinse them from the can. They're not in the oil. They're in there kind of like I don't know what the heck's in it. Whatever the can liquid is. It's not formaldehyde, but it's something kind of funky. All right, so let me taste this. You know what, Joe? Can you pass me a splash of cream from up there? Mm, yep. So it needs a little touch of cream. I'm gonna add just a splash of cream because I feel it needs a little bit more of that saltiness because I love the sauce and that should be finishing touch. I'm also gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper. So I just tasted the sauce because every good chef tastes what they eat before they serve it. You're not that good, you know. You want to taste it. So I'm gonna put some fresh black pepper. I love black pepper with this, especially anything with that cream sauce, because it kind of cuts the fattiness. So a little bit more cream in there because I love the sauce. We had a lot of acidity from the lemon, which cut some of this fat, and you're gonna see right now. Oh my God, this is looking so good right now. All right, this is nice. Give this another little taste. Mm. Oh, c'est magnifique, soigné. All right, so I'm gonna pour three little escargots in each toast point or each crostini. So it looks nice. Great appetizer, great starter, very easy dish. So you can really go and impress somebody and tell them, hey, I'm cooking French now. And it's not as complicated as it looks like. All right, so let me bring this up here. Hope you guys can see that better. Right there. We got our escargot right on the plate. And I'm gonna pour now this delicious sauce right on top. And that's, you know, of the ages. Bread and a delicious sauce, right? I don't care what country you're from, France. I don't care what Independence Day you're celebrating. We can all celebrate a good piece of bread with a lot of delicious sauce. So that's what's going on right here. Putting that sauce right there. Matter of fact, let me put some more escargots so you can see how those guys look. They look funky. The texture's a little funky, but get over it, guys. It's eating like a mushroom oyster offspring kind of deal. Never had it, try it. Don't knock it till you try it, because you're gonna miss out on some of life's delicious stuff right here. All right, plenty of sauce right there. Let me clean the plate because the old school French in the back of my head is telling me avec finesse and keep it tight, all right, kind of deal. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit more chives in there because the fine herbs make it shine, and a little bit more parsley on top. Look at that. Feels like the forest, smells like the forest. And then we're gonna cut that forest vibe with some burgundy wine. Delicious. The wine now it's tasting right at its point. You need to warm up a little bit. Now you get more of the notes in there. So here we have it, guys. This is our escargot on toast points with the creamy shallots in there, garlic in there, rosemary, thyme, chives, parsley, lemon, the burgundy wine, and happy Bastille Day. So just reminders, we have the tasting on Thursday. Join us for that. You know what? I'm gonna have an escargot. I know this is pretty hot. I'm gonna say that for the picture. So Thursday we have five more spots, right, Joe? Five spots left. Sign up. We have almost 40 seats sold. So this is one of our best selling classes going on. And moving forward, I appreciate the support. We're really really pushing this and making this a thing. You know, we're going viral. I don't know if that applies properly now, but it's really good. So we have that, and we have that on Friday, and next week we also have a wine tasting. I'll tell you more about that at the next one. But with that being said, much love to you guys. Happy cooking. We're here every Tuesdays. Catch us if you wanna donate uh, to our cooking classes. We're doing this for free. We've been doing it for 4 months for free. If you love us, we're just putting some links up there so you can donate. And if you don't, I still love you. I still want you to see me. Share this with your friends. Share the love. Cook with someone. Put your mask on. And festival, bon fête nationale. I almost had it. Bonjour. Mm.